you about somebody who is frustrated and irritated because they feel like they should have gotten some sort of success or payoff at this point, but they haven't. And they might be jealous of you because things are going better for you, or they might be lashing out at others who tell them that, they should be further along with this goal. But this is all because they're not willing to do the work. It's like they want to see green beans and jalapenos growing in their garden, but they forgot to actually plant the seeds. They forgot to actually put um, their time and energy into the goal that they wanted to achieve. So they really don't have anyone to be mad at except for themselves, and that could be part of the problem. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedonestarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box along with more information on how to be a member if you'd like access to more content. And you can also find the link to my Etsy shop if you are interested in having your very own homemade soy candle from me. All right, so let's dive in. I'm going to start with the noisy tarot, and let's see what else we can find out about this person. What else do we have, please? Eight of Swords, 10 of Wands, the Empress, and the Five of Swords in the reverse. This is someone who's expecting to be seen as an empress or be respected by others. Hello, Llama. I hope you're having a good day. Oh, it's still repeating those messages, isn't it? Ooh, I'm sorry. I was hoping it would stop after the first comment. If that's obnoxious, I might have to cut the reading short. Llama, go ahead and see if it lets you do the super chat. And just warning you that there is perhaps a chance that it's going to be something that I have to come back to in another reading. Henry, if this isn't for you, then keep it moving. I don't disagree with you, but sounds like you're getting ready to judge. I've only put you in a small timeout, so if you want to come back and clarify that for me, that's fine. But if you're not a fan of what I do, then just keep it moving. Hello, Real Turbo. What's up? What else do we have? So we've got someone who's not willing to do the work and they feel like they're confused. I don't understand why things aren't going well for me. I don't understand why I'm not this empress, like blaming other people. But the reality is they haven't put in the time or the effort that they need to. They're just kind of sour grapes or whining about something that they do have control over, but just didn't actually do anything about it. You got to plant the seeds if you want to grow the vegetables, right? My. So we have the Eight of Wands in the reverse, the Five of Wands, and the Two of Cups. There's someone here who has tried to help and give advice in this situation, and I feel like they've been ignored. This could be a close friend or even a romantic partner. But we have someone who's a little bit too proud to listen. This Queen of Swords is not taking the action that they've been advised to take. So as a result, they're grumpy or causing problems, whining about how everything seems to go better for other people, but still ignoring that advice. Hello, Matt, how are you doing? Hello, is it BLK? How are you doing? Hello, what's up? Hello, James. You're so welcome. Let me know if you want me to pull some more cards for you, okay, James? What else do we have? Interesting. It like duplicated I don't know if you guys can see that. It's showing James's super chat 3 times at the bottom. All right, let's see what else we have. We have the 3 of Wands in the reverse, the 10 of Swords in the reverse, and the Queen of Wands. Hello, Sneha, how are you doing? Thank you for liking the video. If you'd like me to do a personal question for you, I do that after the general reading, which is usually at about 35 minutes in. We're about 5 minutes in now. So after the general reading, and if you want that, you can attach it to a super chat to make sure I prioritize that. So we have this Queen of Wands following that 10 of Swords and 3 of Wands in reverse, right? I don't want to do what you told me to fix it. I don't want to believe that that's what I have to do. I feel like I should just look at something and it turns successful or prosperous. Why can't I just will this thing into making me money or being successful? Do you see what I'm talking about, James? You're like the whole bottom part of the screen for me. I don't know if you are seeing the same thing. What else do we have? I don't think it's charged you multiple times, though. It does say $5 for me at the top. So we've got this Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords in the reverse. I, made one attempt and I expected to be famous. I bet $5 and I expected to win $5 million, Oh, thank you. Likewise. I wouldn't be here without you all. Nine of Swords and the Seven of Cups with the King of Cups in the reverse. There's an immaturity here with this Queen of Swords. They're also coming through as a King of Cups, so in the reverse. So please keep in mind that this does not have to be a woman. We don't take gender too seriously in the tarot because we all have feminine and masculine energy within us. But this is somebody who wants other people to feel bad for them and is frustrated. But when they act like they don't know what could be done to salvage or make their goals come true, they're lying because they haven't actually done the things that they were already told they should do. They haven't met with the right people or done any research. They just expected from the very first attempt that things should have gone well. Hello. If this is not your channel, I ask that you keep it moving. But otherwise, if you want to come back tomorrow, maybe we can have a talk about intention and how there are some people out there who have negative intentions for you. And then there's people like me who, even though I don't know you, I genuinely want you to be successful and happy. I think that's something to be considered when you're making judgments against people, right? Hello, Emily. How are you doing? That sounds good, James. Hey, Sneha, I'm going to put you in a little bit of a baby timeout here since we did already have that conversation about needing to wait for those personal questions. I put you in a 10-minute timeout, and if you want to wait about 10 minutes after that, then we will probably be in the personal question time, and you can add your question to a super chat, okay? I know, right, Emily? Let's get a few from the situations deck. I do feel like this is someone who maybe is a little inexperienced or perhaps a little bit younger. But it could also be that we have someone who is kind of raised with the unfair expectations or maybe even a little bit of entitlement. Yeah. We have someone who's obsessed either with perhaps a romantic interest, or it could be because they're obsessed with, going viral or being a celebrity. And yet they're not doing what has been advised to actually make that happen. That's cool, Henry, but I also think the Bible says, judge not, yet ye be judged, right? So even if you did hate me for what I do, it wouldn't change how I act. And the fact that I got my gift from God is something that you should probably consider, because you have gifts as well, right? But the fact remains, if you're here to just like judge people, I'm going to block you from the channel, okay? You might find that you actually have some things that you could learn or have some great conversations with people in the live chat. I think when you dive in and you judge people right out the gate, you miss a lot in life, right? A lot of potential connections and also a lot of conversations you could have where you could actually, I don't know, get the chance to share what you're thinking instead of out of the gate judging and then getting dismissed, right? All right, what else do we have? We have focused, eyes for you, fascinated, watching, and settlement, agreement or compromise. So we could have a person who feels entitled to a second chance in a romantic connection, even though they haven't taken to heart any of the things that they needed to work on. They say the best kind of apology is changed behavior. And this could be someone who felt like they could just walk right back into your life and repeat the same behavior and you would be down for it. And you're like, I don't know. We were going to have like a different interaction, right? There was going to be something you could heal or work on. This is someone who wants you to compromise on what you think is necessary in the relationship between the two of you. They haven't actually invested in what they need to do. They haven't gone to therapy or they haven't worked on self awareness or self monitoring. And yet they expect you to just jump right back into a relationship with you or with them. And if this is more a professional thing, they are extremely obsessed with getting particular type of job or particular type of fame, and they're willing to throw everyone under the bus to get that kind of fame, but they aren't willing to actually do the work required to get to that level of status. OCX says, isn't the best kind of apology money? I think you're joking, but I'm going to go ahead and say absolutely not. Cannot be bought and paid for. You want to be in my sphere, then you need to be the type that knows how to be held accountable and appreciates working on yourself, self-awareness, right? If you just throw money at me, then I kind of feel like, oh, I don't know if I want to refer to that song. Then I kind of feel like that means your morals and principles actually don't mean anything, right? Hello, B, how are you doing? Hello, is it LA? Yes, this is a general collective reading, and at the 30 or 35-minute mark, I start going through the personal questions with those that had been attached to a super chat, or if you donate a membership to someone else. So we've got someone who, I feel like this is your energy. We've got someone who's saying, no. We're not going to repeat the same thing. If you haven't actually worked on yourself, then there's going to be an ending to the connection. If you haven't applied what we talked about, then you're just expecting me to make the same mistake or go through the same betrayal or frustration, and I ain't here for that. No, thank you. Let's get some more tarot. This is the stained glass tarot. What else do we have? Two of Pentacles, 10 of Wands in the reverse, and the 9 of Cups. I want what I want, and I want it now. What is that chick's name? Veruca Salt? Was that the golden egg girl, or was that the blueberry girl? From Willy Wonka, right? Very spoiled, entitled energy. So this is someone who feels like they should get what they want without having to actually do the work. 10 of Wands in the reverse, not carrying that load, not being able to do the heavy lifting, and just expecting that I will get my wish come true. It's like pretty much anything out there is going to require some level of investment or action. And this person's like, nah, I'm just gonna like sit right here and expect all the dreams that I have to come to me. Snap, snap. I only have until 6 o'clock and then I'm gonna go play video games. They're not actually pursuing or doing the work required and be like expecting to get straight A's in college, even though you never read any of the books or did any of the projects. Like, I guess I would expect to fail in that situation, right? Hey, Unicorn Jungle, how are you doing today? Well, now that makes me think of the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, so maybe that's a reference that'll help someone identify this reading as for them. Hello, Evil Spirited, how are we doing today? We have the Hanged Man, the Two of Swords, and the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, there is an expectation of things going the way I want, even though I didn't do any of the work required. And now this Hanged Man, this is about a different perspective, right? I feel like this energy is saying we have a friend, a family member, or perhaps a romantic interest saying, look, you didn't do any of the work, therefore you don't get any of the payout. You didn't, sell anything at the farmer's market, so you don't get to walk away with any additional cash, right? There's no gain because you didn't do the thing that you were supposed to do. I'm glad to hear that, Unicorn. Empress in the reverse. So they wanted to just like overnight be this empress, and the universe is like, I'm sorry, what? You wanted what? You gotta actually like put in some work if you want to be the empress. You can't be the empress just like, because you daydream about it the day before. It requires actual work. You actually have to contribute to the situation. So the Eight of Pentacles is saying there is work required. Someone needs to work on themselves, or someone actually has to do the work. Hello, Rodney. How are you doing? Hello, Rob. How's it going? Rob, did you see my post yesterday? I posted the British goods that I picked up. Feel free to judge me. Diamond says, you better work, as RuPaul say. Exactly. Hey, Andrew, if it ain't for you, keep it moving, hun. By commenting on my video, you realize that you're telling the algorithm that you want to see more of it, right? Right? If it's not for you, then don't comment on it. Just keep it moving. I'm glad to hear that, Rodney. So we have the Three of Wands. That was the action that they needed to take. And they were like, nah, I'm busy. I'm washing my hair. I don't want to do it. So as a result, now they don't get the outcome that they were looking for, but they're not willing to be honest about the fact that they haven't actually done that, right? So stop commenting on my video. And you stated you don't know, or you don't think that people should believe in this? Thanks for stopping by. We've got someone who's just kind of unwilling to admit that they have the power to change this or at least move the needle, but they're trying to blame external circumstances or, things aren't fair and get jealous of other people who are doing well instead of owning the fact that their failure is a result of their not investing or doing the work. If I wanted to start a yogurt shop, but I never actually had any yogurt on hand to sell, why would I expect to be like successful? One person would show up and say, hey, can I please have some yogurt? I'd be like, oh gosh, I'm plumb out. They'd be like, oh, that stinks. I guess I won't ever come here again. You have this responsibility to own the goals and the pursuits that you want to invest in. And this person seems to not really have ownership of that. Again, this could be about emotional maturity and the healing that needs to happen before someone can reconcile in love. I like it, James. So we have another 7, the 7 of Pentacles in the reverse, Queen of Cups in the reverse, and the 5 of Wands. The thing is, what are we calling you? The Queen of Swords, who is frustrated but not really doing what they need to, they like to complain. They like to whine about things. They like to blame everyone else. They're a bit negative. So it kind of makes sense in a way that they've picked something that is difficult to achieve, but then also decided not to invest in that. So with the 5 of Wands, they seem to fight what would make sense for them to do in order to enjoy their life. They're only happy when it rains, you know? That kind of thing. Hello, Nick. How are you doing? At least we get to keep his jokes, right? Did you know that when Chuck Norris visited the U.S. Virgin Islands after he left, they had to rename it to the U.S. Islands? All right, anyways, that's my Chuck Norris joke of the day. Y'all got one? You want to share one? What else do we have? This is the Weird Cat Tarot. We've got the King of Cups, Ace of Wands in the reverse, and the Two of Cups. This Two of Cups is a friendship or someone that they are dating, and this person's like, hey, you want to do this? Then do that, right? Hello, Sierra. How are you doing? Forgive me for showing off a little bit. I don't know if you can see them all. I think there's like 85-ish behind me, and then 20 in front of me. Yes. Haley, how are you doing? I hope your weekend's going well. Yes, absolutely. For May 14th, will it be 1 or 2? I hope 1 as well. Hey, Nat, how are you doing? I hope you're having a good day. So, despite having solid advice or someone who's literally like in their corner rooting for them, they're letting that person down and themselves by not doing what they should be doing. Emperor in the reverse, claiming that they don't have power or control, they don't have the ability to make that decision, or they don't know how to get what they want or need. But I think it's kind of weaponized incompetence, or someone who just refuses to take that leap of faith. It's easier for them to complain about it, I guess. What else? Page of Wands and the 7 of Pentacles in the reverse. If you want something to be successful, then you have to put in the work. You can't just expect to snap your fingers and have everything you've ever wanted. 10 of Swords, Knight of Swords, and the 5 of Pentacles. It just keeps coming back to this Queen of Swords seems to like to be able to complain. able to say, I don't get what I want, woe is me, you should do something nice because the goals that I have haven't come true. You should give me free stuff because I haven't made the money that I wanted to. So we have some codependent energy. We might have the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse come through. Hello, Goddess. How are you doing? We have the Chariot and the Moon in the reverse. It's like they give up before they even start. All right, so I'm going to tell you a story. Carmen story time. I was babysitting a really intelligent and lovely young lady while I was going to college during the summer. And the parents really liked to make sure that their daughter had a lot of time at the local pool, just basic activity, but also an opportunity to socialize. And because I was, kind of required to go to the pool more often than I would have, I decided to make a goal because I have a little bit of a fear of the high dive. I think a lot of people probably do. Like you just hear like a splat when you think about it. But I had gone off the regular diving boards. I could handle that. No big deal. I love to swim, okay? But the high dive, scary, right? And so I knew that that was my goal. By the end of the summer, I wanted to be able to do the high dive. And I did it. But I had to like work up to it and I had to do what I could to get rid of the anxiety, right? And when I climbed up the day that I actually did the high dive, I could see the girl that I was babysitting sitting there, like cheering for me, like, you could do this, right? There's someone here cheering this Queen of Swords on, but they're not actually getting on the ladder. They're not actually climbing up to that high dive. They're whining about how they can't do the thing that they want without actually putting the effort required. And with the moon in the reverse, I feel like it's because they want to be able to cry or whine or be upset about something. And that seems to be a stronger force for them than actually doing what they set out to do. Now, why would that be? Do they just want someone to take care of them? Is this goal not actually that important? Are they afraid? It feels to me like this is someone who talks a lot, but doesn't actually follow through with the action. So this is like, I want to brag to everybody that I'm going to go off that high dive. Because, I don't know, I'll be popular or people will be like, oh, wow, that's awesome. But then I'm not going to actually do it. So they want to talk about stuff, but then they don't actually follow through. Or then they want to be able to cry to other people and say, oh, it didn't go well. Doesn't that stink? Yes, it does, because you didn't actually try. All right, so this is the Fable Maker Tarot, and it is giant. Okay, I think those actually produced 4 giants. But I'm going to use it, okay? Just to compare for you, here is a regular tarot deck, and here's the Fable Makers next to it. And then my hands, very small, okay? But we're going to do it. And I might drop them all over the floor, okay, you guys? Don't judge me. Goddess, so far I have used the Earth and Bones Tarot, the Noisy Tarot, which I believe is actually called the Hologram or the Classic Tarot, the Stained Glass Tarot, and the Weird Cat Tarot, along with the Situations Oracle deck. All right, so from the Fable Makers, we have the Devil. So there's a little bit of, where is the, oh, it's the tails move. Can you see the tails moving? The Devil is fear, but it can also be codependency. So we have someone who's given up on what they need to do or what they know is required for their goal, whether that's reconciliation in a romantic relationship or some sort of professional career. They want to be able to whine about things not going well. They
have talked themselves out of doing the thing that they need to actually do in order to achieve their goal. I think this is someone who wants another person to take care of things for them. We have the Six of Coins. This is someone who expects to get that payout or that gain without actually climbing that ladder to the high dive. Hello, how's it going, Tandy? Hello, Donna. I hope you're having a good day. Hello, Spellbinders. How are you doing? I hope you are as well. So we have the Emperor in the reverse and the Queen of Swords. I told you. They have the ability to be successful. They have the ability to change their circumstances, but it's like they're giving up, relinquishing their own power and saying, oh gosh, I can't do it. Oh, you're going to have to do it for me. Oh man, I can't figure out how to take the trash out. It's just, I tried, but it just didn't work. So I guess you're going to have to take out the trash. Weaponized incompetence. I'm going to need you to take care of it for me, or I'm going to need you to pay all the bills. Oh gosh, I can't do anything. Is it the Rider-Waite Smith? Ooh. So we've got the Ace of Swords in the reverse, someone who lies about whether or not they've actually done what they need to do. Someone who claims to have put forth the effort that they needed to. Oh, I went to therapy. Oh, I let go of, the baggage that I had from my previous relationship. I've forgiven people from my past, but they still have that emotional block. Or, gosh, I educated myself. I took the training on that, but I still can't figure out how to pass that exam. But they didn't. They're just claiming to have done a little bit of work in hopes that they can get some sort of, I don't know, like you feel sorry for them, so you help them out kind of thing. This is the Untold Messages of the Heart. And James, let me know if you want me to pull a few cards for you, please. What else do we have? Guilt. Hurting you was never my intention, but now it's hurting me too. Love. My heart is opening and I'm ready. Finances. I'm busy with work right now and it requires my attention. Jealousy. I feel like you've moved on without me and that's difficult for me to see. I really just don't like this person's rejection of their own agency or their own power. They could be doing things. They could make their life better. They could, take some classes or get certified or apply for a program or a grant. They're not doing any of these things. They're not doing any of the things that they are supposed to do or have been advised to do. They're hoping that someone's going to take care of everything for them. This kind of feels to me like someone who just wants everything to be paid for them, and yet they also get jealous of people who have actually been able to accomplish something. They need to get the fear that seems to inhibit them. They need to address that fear. We have karma. My life is falling apart and I'm struggling. I just want to have fun with you. And they're not taking things seriously. They want to, get those dopamine hits, have some real fun times with you, but they're not willing to invest in the things that make it possible for that relationship to be on healthy terms instead of codependent, toxic terms. Hello, Indra. How are you doing? No worries, James. All right, so we'll get just a few more from the Gypsy Oracle, and then we're going to start on Lee's question. What else do we have? Fortune. I want to strike it rich, but preferably for doing something that I consider to be fun. Why can't I just make $1 million for riding my bike up the street and back? Hello, how's it going? Shed, how's your day going? Thank you, Donna. So this is a person who's lying about the effort that they've put forth, lying about whether or not, they're fully invested or have some skin in the game, whether it's about reconciliation in a romantic relationship or if it's about achieving their professional goals. Love. It's impacting a relationship. I want someone else to do all of the heavy lifting and I'll just sit here and wait. I'm one of those people who tries to do things by themselves. There was one day I went to Menards and I was looking for tile because I was going to replace the linoleum in my kitchen. And I found I found the tile that I wanted, but it was marked discontinued. So I ended up buying way more than I should have because I got anxious that I would run out and then I'd go back to buy some more and it wouldn't be there. And so at the time I drove a PT Cruiser. And those packs of tile, they were pretty heavy, 10 in a box. I moved all those tile myself into the back seat of my PT Cruiser, and they were stacked high, okay? Like if I had to guess, it was 4 piles, 12 by 12 tiles, across in the back seat. And of course, they have like that little raised for the middle seat. And like, I don't know, maybe 10 to 15 packages like high. And so I'm driving my stupid little PT Cruiser and like looking back, like, oh my God, don't tip over. Stop. Like driving extra careful, right? And then I get home and I move all of the tile into the house. And by the end of the day, my arms were like spaghetti, right? I could have waited. I probably could have had some help. A roommate would have helped me for sure. But I did it all myself. This is the kind of person who wouldn't even made it to Menards. They would have been like, I don't know, I want some tile. But I guess the linoleum's fine. No, man, I'll go out and get it. Hello, Darnell. How are you doing? Yeah, I mean, you might find somebody who helps you out, but you know what, Kumar? I'm going to go ahead and tell you, you are far more powerful than you give yourself credit for. If this girl with very little muscle can move that much tile, I'm confident that you could as well. So we have somebody who has been encouraged, but they're lying to their relationship person or whoever they're dealing with, saying that they have been doing what they need to when they really haven't. They just need to invest in their own success. All right, so let's hop over to Lee's personal question, por favor. And Lee, I'm sending you healing energy no matter what the answer is. Definitely hopeful that everything goes especially well for you. Will the May 14th appointment result in a second appointment? Will it be 1 or 2? Will it just be 1 surgery? Okay, wait. I can't use this deck because I know... Hold on. Okay. Will Lee's surgery require a second? Will Lee's surgery on the 14th require a second surgery? This is pointing to yes. There will likely be a second one. And notice with Judgment, we have 2 X's. 5 of Cups in the reverse. And the 4 of Wands. I feel like this is saying it's not exactly ideal, but it's going to get you better results, or the outcome will be better. Moon in the reverse, 8 of Wands, and the 9 of Swords in the reverse. If there was pressure to try to get everything done in one surgery, if your doctor was more concerned with being expeditious versus doing it the right way, there would end up being complications, or there would be something like 6 months down the line, you have to come back and say, hey, why is this an issue? Or why does this not seem like it's fully healed? If you do the two-prong approach, then there's no like fallout or problems afterwards. So it seems very likely that it'll be 2 sessions, but it's like, please don't be nervous about it. It's going to mean that you're happier in the long term. Page of Cups in the reverse and Strength. Yeah. I think this will end up being something that you just kind of deal with. It's not what you want to hear, but it is going to mean that you have fewer concerns in the post-op time frame. So focus on that element of it, because do I tell you another Carmen story? I think I've already actually referenced this, so I'm going to tell you. Hello, Edwin. How are you doing? So I had a mole on my stomach, and I was kind of nervous that maybe it was like cancerous. So when I went to the doctor, I was like, hey, do you want to like remove that mole? That'd be cool. She did so, but decided that instead of using the process that she had used for years and years before, that she would try something new. Oh, good. I love being a guinea pig. In fact, I did not. She messed it up. It got infected, and I had to go back, and it was awful. I wish she had just done what she knew she should have done instead of trying, you know what I mean? So, I feel like this is one of those things where it could have not great impact to your post-op recovery if it's rushed into one. Is there any chance that it would work out with one? Not really. I think your doctor is going to recommend the second. But I don't feel that it's I don't feel like it's because, oh, I could make more money off of you or it's more convenient for me. I do think it's about your health. Ah, okay. Yeah, what I'm picking up though is that you would take longer to recover from the first surgery if it was rushed and pushed into one. So I think the timing of the second one is really important, and to find a way to navigate that with your job in mind, I think is totally doable. Just make sure you bring it up with your doctor. Hello, Hikari. How are you doing? Yes, thank you for liking and subscribing. It means the world. Hello, Grind Hard. How you doing? I'm doing well. Thank you, Hikari. All right. Let's do let's do some yes/no questions. Feel free to pause the live stream, but I'm going to do 3 cards from the Magic 8 Ball Oracle, which gives you some variation on no or yes. So please come up with 3 yes or no questions. Example, does Billy like me? It's always my example. And then you'll get your answers. But yeah, like I said, feel free to pause it. Hey, Henry, let's not do this again. I think I've made clear where I stand on that. My live streams are not for judgment in religious or spiritual beliefs. I would much prefer to have a collective where we can agree to disagree on some things, but also hope to be a positive influence on each other. So let's just not do that, okay? All right, are you ready? Question number 1. Yes, definitely. And what about for question number 2, please? Without fail. And for question number 3, I love it, Redbeard. Hello, Zufa. How you doing? Zufa, we have talked about this multiple times. I'm gonna delete that comment for you. Would you like to ask me how I'm doing and use my name as I've asked you multiple times instead of calling me your love? Because I don't know who you are and that's creepy. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, for question number 3, what do we have? Wow. Wow. I actually had 2 cards fall out and they are both in the affirmative. That's all 3 questions are affirmative. Hopefully that's a good affirmative for you all. All right. Thank you, kind heart. I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you everyone for being awesome. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. Thank you for being patient as I've been dealing with those technical issues lately. It means the world to me. And I will see you on the next reading.